Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we'll be discussing about the last problem of today's weekly contest, count visited nodes in a directed graph. The problem is a very well balanced hard problem. It doesn't require you to have the understanding of a particular algorithm. In general, if you know about BFS or DFS, you should be able to approach this problem. If you haven't give this problem a try, I would strongly encourage you to pause and try at least once by yourself. So with that, let's get started. The problem states that you are given a directed graph consisting of n nodes numbered from 0 to n minus 1 and n directed edges. You are given the edges array where edges of I denotes that there is an edge from node I to edges of I. Now you will start from a node X and you will keep visiting other nodes through the edges until you reach a node that you have already visited in the same process, right? So how many number of nodes you will visit will be the answer of the ith node. So let's take an example. Let's say this is the given graph. So edges is 1 to 0 0. Basically it says that from node 0 there is an edge that will go to node 1. So from node 0 there is an edge that will go to node 1. Similarly, from node 1 there is an edge that will go to node 2. There is an edge from node 2 that will go to node 0, and finally there is an edge from node 3 that will go to node 0. So this is the edge. So this is the graph that we have been given. Now we need to find out for each of the node how many nodes we can visit if we start from that particular node. So if let's say we start from 0, if you start from 0, you will visit 1, 2, and then you will go to 0 again, right? So you have to stop the journey if you go to a node which you have already visited. So in this case we already have visited 0, so we'll stop the journey here, and in total we have visited 3 different nodes, and hence the answer for 0 is 3. Similarly, for 1 and 2 as well, you will visit exact 3 nodes, and hence the answer for 1 and 2 is also 3. So finally for 3, if you start your journey from 3, you will go to node 0, then 1, then 2, and finally go back to 0. So 0 you have already visited in this journey, so you will stop the journey here, and in total you have visited 4 nodes, and hence the answer for 3 is 4. So hope the problem statement is clear. Now how to solve this? So notice the edges. Edges follow a very interesting property. We have been given that from the node I there is an edge that will go to a particular node. So it indirectly means that from any node there is just exactly one outgoing edge, no more no less, right? So let's say you start from a particular node, right? Now you take, there is exactly one edge outgoing, so you take that edge and landed on a different node. Now again from this node there is exactly one edge outgoing, so you will either land on a different node or you will land on one of the node that you have already visited, right? That's the only two choices you have. So if you take this edge, this node will either be the same node that you have visited or it can be a different node. Let's assume it is a different node. If you continue this, again the next node can be the same node that you already have visited, or it can be a different node altogether. Let's say it is different node. So if you keep on doing this journey, right, we are very sure that at the end we will be forming a cycle for sure, right? Why? Because every node has one outgoing edge, and that the edge will land on a particular node. Now whichever node the edge will land, either that node will be a or completely new node, or that will be an already visited node. So if you say that okay, every time I land on a new node, at the at the max you will land on n total n nodes, because there is total n nodes, right? So with n minus 1 edges you will land on the all the n nodes available. Now from the nth node you have to land on some of the existing node, right? There's no other choice, right? So there will be cycle formed at the end no matter what. So let's utilize this factor. So let's say you will start from some node, any node you want, and you are sure that if you keep on visiting the edges, you will be forming a cycle at the end. And once you form the cycle, there is no new node that needs to be visited again, or no new node that can be explored after this, because you know that from this node, once you have visited back to the older node, there is no more edge after this, because every node can have exactly one edge. So because of this, your journey will end here, and this is the exact set of nodes that you can visit if you start from this particular node, right? Now we are sure that this will be the first configuration. Now can you find the answer for each of the node given this configuration? The answer is simple. Whichever node are a part of cycle, all those nodes will have exact same value. So if you start from this node, you know that at the end you will be coming back to this node, so the value would be the length of the cycle, which is 4. Similarly, if you start from this node, you are sure that you will be coming back to the same node, so the value will be the length of the cycle. So whichever node that are a part of the cycle itself will have a value of the cycle length itself. Now once you have filled the values for all the nodes which are a part of cycle, for all other nodes the value would simply be 1 plus the value of the next node, right? So for this node the value would simply be 1 plus the value of the next node, which is 4. So in this case 5 is the value, right? So this is the initial configuration. Basically we started from any node, and because of the property of the edges, we were able to find out the values of all the nodes that can be visited from that particular starting node. Now let's say you have done this, and this is the exact same structure. I just restructured it a bit. So let's say you have done this and you know the values of some of the nodes. So you know these are the some nodes that you have already visited and you already know the values for. Now after you have done this, let's say you pick some other node which is not yet visited, right? Now from this node, what can happen? Again, you will start your journey, you will keep on going your journey forward, and finally either you will form another cycle, right? So either you will keep on moving forward to the new nodes and finally you form a cycle. So either this will be the case. If this is the case, we know how to find the answer for each of these nodes, right? We have seen that. If that is not the case, what can happen now is the next node that you will land on is something that you have already visited before in the previous iteration. In other words, you already know the answer for that node, right? So if this is the case, notice the previous case we have solved. In the previous case, as in where you visit some nodes which are not yet visited and finally you land back on some other node. So this case we already know how to find the answer for each of the node. The new scenario is where we have landed on a node which we have already calculated the answer for. So in this case, the answer for, or what will be the answer for these nodes? The answer is straightforward. You can simply take the answer for the next node and do +1 to get the answer for this node, right? Why? Because if you start from this node, you are sure that you will be visiting these nodes and there is only just one path, and finally you will stuck on this particular loop. So you can think of it like, instead of starting from this node, if you had started from this node, the answer for this would simply be 5 + 1. So that's exactly what's happening, right? So similarly, you can find the answer for this node as well, which is the answer for next node +1. So 6 + 1, 7. Similarly, the answer for this node would be 7 + 1, which is 8, right? So what we have seen, we have two criteria. We will keep on visiting nodes until one of the two cases exist. Either you form a complete new cycle, in other words, something like this. So in this case, how to find the answer? Simply go over the cycle, and for each of these nodes you know what will be the answer will simply be the cycle length, because whichever node you start with, you will be stuck in the same loop again. And finally, for every node that is not a part of cycle, you will simply do the next node +1. because that many number of nodes you will be visiting if you start from this particular node. And the second case that can happen is you will land on a node for which you already know the answer for, and if that's the case, you will simply stop your journey there, and you know the answer for the current node would simply be the value of that node plus 1, right? Why? Because you are sure that if you continue your journey forward, you will be stuck in a loop, and finally this part will be exactly same as a node here, and if you have started your journey from here, you would have already calculated the value like 5 plus 1 6, right? So that's what we are doing. So hope this entire thing makes sense. Let's just take one final example and conclude this. So let's say these are the nodes 0 1 2 3 4. We have labeled the nodes completely. Now we'll start from 0, right? So we'll start our journey from 0. So if you start your journey from 0, let's see. So you will go to 3 first, right? After this you will go to 7. After this you will go to after this you will go to 4, and then 5, then 6, and then finally 7 again. So 7 is something that you already have visited, right? So because you already visited 7 and you are visiting the 7 again, what you will do, you will simply find out the cycle length. Cycle length in this case is 4. How to find cycle length? You can simply revisit this structure and now count the number of nodes in this first cycle, right? So the cycle length is 4, so you know the answer for each of these nodes in the cycle. So you know the answer for these 4 nodes. Now finally, once you know the answer for these nodes, when you will backtrack, you will go to 3. Now for 3, the answer would simply be the answer for the next node plus 1, which is 5, right? Similarly for 0, the answer for 0 would be the answer for next node plus 1, which is 6, right? Now you have calculated everything that you can starting from 0. So now let's look at the next node. Let's say you start your journey from 1 now. Now if you start your journey from 1, what will happen? You will go to 10, you will then go to 9, and then you will go to 6. Sorry, you will go to 0. And once you reach 0, you will figure out that okay, 0 is already visited and we already have the answer for 0. Notice, if 0 is already visited, there can be two cases. Either you have found a cycle, in this case, in this particular case we have found a cycle, or you already know the answer for 0. In this case we already know the answer for 0, so the answer for 9 would simply be the answer for 0 plus 1, which is 7. And similarly the answer for 10 would be answer of 9 plus 1, which is 8. And finally the answer for 1 would be 8 plus 1, which is 9. Now we know we have calculated the value for starting from 0. Let's start our journey from 2 now. So if you start your journey from 2, you will see okay, I will visit 10, and 10 is something that I already know the answer for. So the answer for 2 would simply be 8 plus 1 9, right? And 3 4 5 6 7, everything has already, we already calculated the answer. So the next node which we don't know the answer for is 8. So we start our journey from here, and the next node that we will visit is 10. So the answer for 8 would be 8 plus 1, which is 9, right? And finally we will go to 11 and now start our journey from 11, and answer for 11 would simply be next node plus 1, which is 9 plus 1, which is 10, right? So this is the way in which you will find out the number of nodes that you can visit if you start your journey from a particular node, right? Notice the entire thing based on one simple structure, that is each node has exactly one outgoing edge. If that condition would not have been there, this logic would not be applied, because if that condition is not there, we will never say that we will be stuck in this kind of loop again and again, right? So that's the crux. So the pseudocode of this would look something like this. We will have simple DFS. You can do BFS as well, I think. So you'll start your DFS from here. Now you will keep maintain they keep doing uh, keep visiting the edges until you hit the one of the two condition. Either you know the answer for the current node, in which case you will not go further, and simply the answer of next node would be the answer for current node would be answer for next node plus 1. If you don't know the answer for current node, you if the current node is already visited, right? So in that case you will know that I have found a cycle. So I will just simply find the cycle length. How? I will simply iterate over the loop again and figure out cycle length, and for each node in the loop I will set the answer for each of these node to the cycle length, right? Now once we have the answer for each of these nodes, we can trace backward and calculate the answer for all the node that lies in between the path, right? So the overall complexity of this entire algorithm is order n, basically 2n, because we are iterating over this node here as well. So we are iterating over all the cycle nodes, all the nodes in the particular cycle here again. So it would be kind of 2n, because all the nodes which are a part of cycle are visited twice, but overall the amortized complexity is order n only. So if you have watched to this point, I would strongly encourage you to pause and try to code this entire thing by yourself and get it submitted, because you just have to literally code this particular DFS. The only thing you have to do by yourself is find out the cycle length. So if you are not able to code this, I would encourage you to rewatch the section which get you trouble coding this. So next we're looking at the code. The code is very straightforward. We have maintained a visited array, right? And after this we also have maintained a result array that will contain the final answer for each of the nodes. Now as we discussed, we will start our journey from any node. So we'll start our journey from 0 and we will keep on doing this all the way up to the node n. Now the DFS would look like if we have already visited this node in the previous iteration. So you can replace this with the result of src not equals to -1. So that is equivalent to saying that we have visited this node in the previous iteration. If we have visited this node in the previous iteration, we already have the value for this node, right? So that those are like same. Now if that's not the case, if we have visited the current node in the current iteration itself, then we have to find out the cycle length. How to find a cycle length? We'll simply start from the current node, keep on visiting the edges until we reach back to the current node. We know that we will be reaching back to current node because we just have visited the node in the previous iteration, so there will be a cycle for sure. So this loop will be finite, and after this loop ends, length will contain the number of node in the cycle. Once we have found out the number of node in the cycle, we can simply visit all the nodes again and set their result as the cycle length, and after that we will simply return from the particular loop. So basically we have filled up the values for all the nodes in the cycle. Now when we traverse back, we will simply check if the result is something we have already computed, because it might be a part of cycle, so we might have computed the result already. If we have, we will not do anything. If we don't have the result would simply be the result of the next node plus 1, because the result of next node is something we must have calculated because we are doing the DFS and then coming back. And this is like, you can, if you are using that previous DFS function here, you have to use this, otherwise this is of no use. So even this will pass. So hope this entire solution makes sense. If you have any doubts in any of the piece, feel free to follow up in the comment section below. I would be happy to answer. If you did the video, give it a thumbs up and do subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.